And today we're going to make that gelato di mandarino. And you can start with mandarin oranges like this, or if you don't have mandarin oranges, you could use just navel oranges. You could use tangerines. And all I want to do is squeeze enough juice, about 1 3/4 cup, to give me enough orange juice to flavor the ice cream. So you can either do that if you have a juicer, an automatic juicer, you can use that, or you can just use a reamer to do it. And do it over a strainer so you can get rid of all that excess pulp, because you really don't want that in the ice cream. And then if you want to add even more flavor, you can do a little zesting, you see? With a zester like this, which just takes that very fine zest off of the orange and leaves the pith behind. So there's a little bit of zest. And the other thing I do before I really get cranking here is to tell you that once I take all of the juice out, once I do this, then I save these shells, trying not to put a hole in the bottom of the shell. Take out all of this pulp, either using a spoon, or you could use something like this, a melon baller, but get all that excess stringy stuff out, because we're going to use this to fill the mandarin shells. So now that you know that, here's the next step. You've got to begin by making a sugar syrup. So you want to start with about 2 cups of water in a pot. And I know, don't fall off your chair yet. You need 4 1/4 cups of sugar. That's right. 4 1/4 cups. This is very concentrated syrup. And you get that all in. You say it's going to be really sweet, you bet, but it's absolutely delicious. I mean, if you want to cut down a little bit on the sugar, you can. And get this all dissolved. Dissolve it well, very slowly. Once you have that dissolved, then you cook this, stirring constantly, until you have something that looks like this. You want something that's really syrupy, you see, just like that. Don't cook it too long or you'll start to get a caramelization, and you don't want that. So then you just want to cool that down a little bit and then bring it over and add your orange juice. So here's my 1 3/4 cups of orange juice mixed into that sugar syrup mixture. A pinch of salt to just help bring out a little more of the flavor, and about a tablespoon of that grated orange zest goes in. And then just sit that aside. We want to make this really creamy, so we want to start with some egg yolks. Here I have 5 egg yolks in a bowl, and all I want to do is whisk a little air into those and add 2 cups of half and half and 2 cups of cream. Now, once you have that all mixed together, then you have to put this over a hot water bath. And you want to be careful that you have the water not touching the bottom of this bowl. So here's a huge pan, and I sit this on the top to create a double boiler effect. And then I stand over this, sing a few Italian songs, and I whisk this, or you can just stir, until this begins to thicken. But you don't want the water ever to touch the bottom of the bowl, because if it does, you run the risk of curdling the eggs. When that is slightly thickened, then you take it out, you put it in the refrigerator. This is what it looks like when it's thickened. One thing I forgot to do is pour my sugar syrup in. Sorry. Let me get that in there while I'm talking to you about this. Once that's cooled down, you want to put the sugar syrup in, or you've missed the whole part of the orange part of this. And you just keep whisking, as I say, to get that thickened. This is after you take it off the heat. You see it's starting to coat the back of a spoon. And here it is after it has cured overnight. This just helps it to thicken even more. So it doesn't look like ice cream, you say? You're absolutely right, because now what we have to do is put that into an ice cream maker. And for this to really come out correctly, you have got to use an ice cream maker whose insert you have put in the freezer the night before, because this has to be absolutely frozen. And this goes on the base of the machine, just like that. And then this is the thing that helps to churn the ice cream. Then you put the top on, like that, and then you take this ice cream mixture that you have already, you turn on the machine, and you begin pouring this through this tube right here. Very, very slowly. Look at how wonderful that looks. I hope you can see the little pieces of orange zest and juice pieces that are going in that. And you let this churn until it starts to really thicken. Now, it's really not going to be hard when it comes out of here. It's going to have the consistency of frozen yogurt. And at that point, you're going to take it out and you're going to put it in a container in the freezer and let it freeze even more.